Hello everyone and welcome back to Prehistoric Squared. I'm Nick Spard and today we will be recapping episode 1 through 5 of Prehistoric Squared since I want to make it easier for new viewers to not have to sit through all of those early episodes which has worse quality than I'd like it to be. Before we start, I want to explain the name of the series a little bit. Basically, prehistoric and historic put together, Prehistoric Squared, representing fossil and archaeology, which is the mod that I'm using in one title. Now that that's explained, we can go ahead and start with our video. So, episode 1. I spawned right near the two structures from the fossils and archaeology mod. One is a paleontologist tent and the other is a tar pit. The tar pit will be important later down the line, but since now is the first episode and I just started, I did the basic stuff. So mining, getting some tools. But since this series isn't vanilla, I first started making the table and stations from Tinker's Construct and then set up my base near the tent since the tent has a bed in it that I can use, and the tools that I made, the stone ones, is made with the Tinker's Construct stuff. And then, since I also need food, I explored a little bit and found a village nearby. So I borrowed some of the foods from there, from the crops from there, and started my own farm. And it's pretty lucky, I think. I don't really know the chances, but I found that the village has both an archaeologist and a paleontologist there. With the time in between of this episode and the last episode, my farm has grown quite a bit, so I decided to move my animal to another place, and at that place also I decided to make a starter base. Since I started with a tent, I think what would be the next step? And since I'm also in the tundra, I was thinking of Mongolia, the yurt or gur. I think that's how you say it, I guess. And since I needed some wool for the starter base, I decided to get sheep. But since I'm in a modded series, I decided to do it the unconventional way. So, I got the wool from my tent, extracted some sheep's DNA from it, get some sheep embryo, and then implanted it on a cow that is on my farm. And after that, I got 2 sheep from 1 cow. And with that, I started my sheep's herd. Just like with the wool, you can get DNA out of a couple of things in this mod. And after I extracted some DNA from the tar pit's slime and the fossils that I mined, I got quite a lot of DNA. So I wanted to choose one of the extinct animal to revive first. And since I am right now building a Mongolian structure and I also would need a ride to explore, I was thinking a horse. There's one horse-like extinct animal that I've got, the DNA. So I revived a quagga. Yes. So a quagga looks like a zebra. It has stripes on the front, but on the back the stripes faded out and has like a brown color on it. And accidentally, while I was reviving the quagga, I accidentally killed 2 of my dogs, both of them. So I with a bucket of lava. So I tamed another dog and then revived the quagga. Sadly, I cannot revive my dogs. But while waiting for the quagga to grow up, I decided to make a bridge to the island nearby. This island is a smaller island, and the reason I made a bridge is so I can get there by horse, by quagga in this instance. And while building it, I get bothered by a skeleton, and no, just look at this. So, in this episode, since I already finished my starter house, I was thinking to expand more on my tools and armors. And since we have a Tinker's Construct mod here, I wanted to expand on that first. So I decided to build a Tinker's Construct workshop, which has a smelter in it, the stations, and the forge for the mod tools and armors. And then I realized I don't really have that much material to make tools and armors with. So I was able to make like 75% of a hammer, which is an advanced tool from Tinker's Construct, but the other iron that I was using for something else, which is also important, since the smeltery at the workshop needs lava to work, and then the modifiers for the tools and armors usually requires obsidian. I decided to make a lava extraction contraption thing. What was it called again? A lava pump. Yes, a lava pump from Wildcraft. So I was pumping lava into some tanks, and then I was able to transport the tanks with the Tinker's Construct tanks. So that's what I spent most of my iron. And then I needed more iron for something else for next episode, and also the tools that I was going to make originally. So let's go on with the next episode. So I finally got some iron from mining. So finally I got the materials to complete my hammer, and also get some iron tools for myself. And then with the irons, I also managed to make a traveler's backpack, which is very good, since it expands on my inventory and have things like liquid tanks on it, and also a crafting table on it. And then at this point I have a lot of time to play Minecraft, but I don't have time to record myself playing Minecraft. So instead I was grinding on some tools, since I only have iron tools right at that point. I went to the nether, got some ardite, some cobalt, some manulin, and got some more advanced tools for myself. And since I also have time, I grinded a lot of woods, and then I made the bridge that I made like in episode 2 much better, and also made another bridge to another island that is much further away. And then I cultivated some plants and also some animals, so I've got more animal choices to revive. I planted some ancient trees, kind of trees, not really, like calamities, cordates. I don't really know how to pronounce their name, and I also chose another animal to revive. Since you saw the episode's name, you already know what it is. It's a Tiktaalik. For those of you who doesn't know this animal, it's a fish that can walk on land, I guess. It's a lobe-finned fish, I think the term is. And since it's a carnivore, it needs to eat meat, and it's very territorial, since when I was checking on it for food, if it's good, if it needs any toys, I always got bitten by it I think that's it for the episode, since there are some things that there were things that I mostly did in this episode is on in the background, since I was doing a lot of grinding, but I didn't have enough time to record it. Not real time, but the place, I guess. In episode 5, it is basically just me explaining the plan that I thought off camera. So in this segment, I'll also be doing just that. Here, as you can see, is the area that we will be working with. I've divided it into several areas with each kind of animals marked onto their place. In the middle here is going to be our base of operation. So in our new headquarters, I built the main house, the storage, and also a stable for my quagga. There are also other things that I will be moving from the old base to this base, but that's for later, probably off camera. To get to those divided area, I decided to have two main way of transportation. The first is through the overworld with 3 bridges surrounding the main island, right here, here, and here. And of course there will be other bridges that's not surrounding the main island. And also some paths throughout the place. The second way is through the nether, with strategically placed portals that will also connect to the path from earlier. After that, I also decided to go with the building style that is similar to prehistoric park, if you know what I mean, with more natural and easier to get resources. And also for the enclosure of the animals that we will be building, I would prioritize the animals' need before the people, since it is for the animal most of the time. And I think that's it for our recap of episode 1 through 5 of Prehistoric Squared. Probably there won't be anything like this anywhere in the near future, since this is a pretty special circumstance. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye bye!